Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Okay, I want you to start by doing a really quick mental inventory for me. Think about the last hour you spent scrolling through TikTok, maybe watching Insta Reels, or just checking photos in the group chat. How much of what you saw do you think was, actually real? And I'm not just talking about heavy filters or staged pranks here. I mean literally entire people, voices, and events that never even existed. We're stepping into this wild era where our digital world is just flooded with artificial intelligence. So today, we're unpacking a really fascinating and honestly kind of terrifying piece of source material called the synthetic mirror, AI and the erosion of trust. We're going to look at exactly why your brain suddenly can't tell the difference between AI and real people anymore. So, is your brain lying to you right now? I know, it sounds totally like a sci-fi movie plot, right? But it's the actual reality of how we interact with modern media. Look, we usually think of artificial intelligence as just some super smart computer program running on a giant server somewhere. But what if we reframe that completely? What if the AI generating that content on your phone is actually functioning as a cognitive hack? Think of it like a cheat code in a video game. But instead of unlocking unlimited health, this code specifically targets your own biology. It completely bypasses your logic and speaks directly to the subconscious parts of your brain that decide what's safe, what's real, and who you can actually trust.
Section 1. Hacking the human brain. Okay, let's dive into this and look under the hood at how this actually works.
So here is the battlefield. You see, for hundreds of thousands of years, human beings have relied on very specific physical inputs to understand the world. Our biological hardware is actually pretty predictable, and let's be honest, it hasn't exactly had a software update in a few millennia. On the left side here, we have human reality. When you're talking to a friend in the hallway at school, your brain is rapidly processing thousands of physical cues, natural vocal inflections, and biological signals, stuff like tiny eye movements, the exact way they breathe when they speak, or that slight little hesitation right before they laugh. Now on the right, we have what the source material calls the synthetic mirror. AI isn't just making a cartoon anymore, it is artificially replicating those exact biological signals. It simulates the microexpressions. It synthesizes digital signals to perfectly mirror the human cues we are hardwired to inherently trust. The mirror is literally so clean that we completely forget it's glass. Moving on to Section 2, Deepfakes in voice cloning. This is essentially the malware running the cognitive hack. Let's look at the two main tools blurring our reality every single day. First up, we have deepfakes. These are highly realistic synthetic media that convincingly replace a person's visual likeness using AI. You can think of it as a highly advanced visual illusion designed specifically to fool your eyes. You've absolutely seen them on your feeds. Maybe it's a celebrity saying something totally outrageous, an influencer pushing a scam, or a politician doing something they never actually did. Guys, this isn't Photoshop anymore. The AI studies millions of images of a person's face from literally every angle. It learns exactly how the light hits their cheekbones, how their mouth moves, and then essentially maps that face onto someone else's body in a moving video. To your human eyes, the illusion is flawless. And then we have the audio counterpart to deepfakes, which is voice cloning. This is an AI system capable of perfectly replicating the unique auditory signature and inflections of a human voice. It literally only takes a few seconds of clean audio. Just a quick clip from a TikTok or YouTube video is all an AI needs to map the pitch, tone, and exact inflection of how you speak. Just imagine getting a frantic voice note from your best friend asking for help. It sounds exactly like them, complete with their unique laugh and the way they stumble over words. But it's not them at all. It's just a string of code. By combining deepfakes and voice cloning, this synthetic mirror becomes completely whole.
Section 3. Why we fall for it. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is that it shows us it's a psychological glitch. It's not a failure of intelligence. It's all about how our brains process information before our critical thinking even boots up.
You might be sitting there thinking, well, I'm pretty smart, I know how to spot a fake video. But let's actually walk through the literal steps of human perception. Step 1, sensory input is received. You hear a voice or see a face on your screen. Step 2, your brain initiates pattern matching. It instantly scans its massive internal database and asks, okay, does this sound like a human? Does this face move like a human? Step 3, if the pattern matches, the result is instantaneous trust and recognition. And here's the kicker. This entire three-step process happens in milliseconds. The AI is so insanely good at mimicking human patterns that it successfully completes step 2 and completely bypasses your natural built-in BS detector. By the time you try to consciously analyze if it's fake, your subconscious has already decided it's 100% real.
Which brings us to this idea. Evolution prepared us for predators, not pixels.
It's actually kind of funny when you think about it. The human brain is this absolute masterpiece of a survival engine. It evolved to, spot a saber-toothed tiger rustling in the bushes, or to instantly read the hostile body language of a rival tribe. It is completely and utterly unequipped to analyze the pixel density around the jawline of a fake video on your smartphone. We are bringing caveman hardware to an algorithmic fight. And frankly, the algorithm is winning.
Section 4. The erosion of trust. So the crucial point is, what happens to society when this cognitive hack scales up? Let's return to the title of our source material, The Synthetic Mirror, AI and the Erosion of Trust. What actually happens when this isn't just some funny trick on social media, but a constant, pervasive element of our daily lives? When our biological trust is continually exploited, it breaks down the very foundation of how we interact with the world. I mean, trust is literally the glue of society. You trust that the voice on the phone is your mom. You trust that the screenshot your friend sent you is a real conversation. You trust that the news you watch actually happened. But when the line between AI and real people completely vanishes, that mirror shatters. If you can't even trust your own eyes and ears, what can you trust?
Let's look at the real-world consequences of this glitch. First, we cannot verify reality. If a video of a major world event drops online or some massive scandal breaks at your high school, we won't actually know for sure if it even happened. Second, the breakdown of digital communication. I mean, if anyone can perfectly clone your voice or your face, how do you communicate securely online? And finally, the general erosion of societal trust. If we have to assume everything might be fake, we might just start believing nothing is real. That makes us cynical, disconnected, and deeply, deeply suspicious of the entire information landscape around us.
So I want to leave you with this provocative question. When seeing is no longer believing, how do we decide what is real? As you go back to scrolling your feeds, texting your friends, and consuming digital media, keep this question right in the back of your mind. You now know exactly how the cognitive hack works, and you know why your brain is so vulnerable to it. The challenge for your generation isn't just